Nobody tells you what it actually costs. Not the money. The money is the easy part. The real cost is something quieter, something that arrives slowly. So slowly, you don't even notice it leaving. And by the time you do notice, you're not sure if you want it back. That's the part they never put in the highlight reel. You've been told the story 1,000 times. Work hard, stay hungry, build something, and one day you'll have everything. But that word, everything, it turns out to mean something very different once you're standing inside it. Level 1. The beginning. You're not rich yet, not even close. But something inside you has shifted. You've started a business, launched a product, taken a risk that most people in your life quietly judged. Your bank account is thin, your schedule is full, and the voice in your head that used to say, "What if this doesn't work?" has been replaced, slowly, with something more dangerous. What if it does? You work from your apartment, from coffee shops, from the passenger seat of your car while your co-founder drives. There's an electricity to this stage that nobody ever adequately describes. You feel like you're seeing something others can't see yet. That feeling is intoxicating. And it is also, in some ways, the last time things will feel this simple. You're not managing anyone. You're not responsible for anyone. You make a mistake, you fix it, you move on. The pressure here is real, but it belongs entirely to you. That's a kind of freedom you won't fully understand until you no longer have it. But that doesn't last. This is where everything changes. Revenue is real now. Not huge, but real. You've hired your first few people. There's an office, or at least something that functions like one. The idea that once lived only in your head is starting to exist in the world independently of you. And that's thrilling. Until the morning you realize it also means it can go wrong without you. Your name is on things now. Contracts, leases, payroll. When the product breaks at 11 p.m. on a Sunday, your phone rings. When a client is unhappy, they come to you. You are no longer just building something. You are responsible for something. The distinction feels small at first. It isn't. You still believe you're the most capable person in the room for most tasks. You're probably right. But that's also the trap. Because doing everything yourself feels efficient in the short term and becomes catastrophic in the long one. Your calendar is full. Your brain is always half somewhere else. Your friends are starting to notice you've gotten quieter. The money is better than it was. You've moved apartments. You've upgraded the car. But here's what nobody tells you. The lifestyle upgrades arrive faster than the internal peace does. You spend more. You feel roughly the same. You assume the next milestone will fix that. You are wrong about this. You will be wrong about this for a long time. That's when the real problem starts. Level 3. This is where most people fail. You are now worth something with a comma in it, maybe a few commas. Your company is real in the eyes of the world, not just in yours. Investors have written checks with your name on them. Your LinkedIn gets messages from strangers. At dinner parties, people get quiet when you talk. That silence used to feel like respect. Now you're starting to suspect it might be something else. The team is 40 people now, or 60, or 100. And here is what wealth at this level actually looks like from the inside. It looks like meetings. It looks like decisions you're not sure you have enough information to make. It looks like a calendar so full there's no white space left. And white space, you're learning, is where clarity lives. You haven't had a quiet afternoon in 2 years. The competition is different at this level. You're not just competing with other companies anymore. You're competing with a version of yourself that was hungrier. That version didn't have a board to answer to. That version didn't have to think about optics. You look back at early decisions you made. Fast, raw, instinctive decisions. And you're not sure you could make them the same way now. Your relationships are shifting. Some friendships have gone quiet. Not dramatically, just slowly. The way light changes in a room you've stopped sitting in. People who knew you before money treat you with a careful distance that wasn't there before. You can feel them adjusting, and you adjust back without meaning to. You start to understand for the first time what loneliness looks like in a full room. And this is where it gets dangerous. Level 4. The pressure is total now. You are worth hundreds of millions. The number sounds unreal from the outside. From the inside, it mostly means that the consequences of failure have grown so large they've become a presence in themselves. You used to worry about running out of money. Now you worry about something more abstract. Losing what you've built. Reputation. Trajectory. The story the world has started to tell about you. Security, the kind you once believed wealth would deliver, has not arrived. What's arrived instead is a more sophisticated version of the same anxiety you had at the start, dressed in better clothes, sitting in nicer rooms. You have advisors now, a security team maybe, a household staff, people whose entire job is to make sure your life runs without friction. And still, at 3 a.m., your brain does what it has always done. You live in a different physical world now. The private planes are real, the properties are real. The experiences that most people read about in magazines, they're your Tuesday. But the strange thing about getting everything you once pointed at as a destination is this. You arrive, and the horizon simply moves. Whatever you imagined you'd feel when you got here, you don't quite feel it. You feel something close to it, but not it. Your identity has been reconstructed by the world around you, without your consent. You are the founder. You are the disruptor. You are the person in the profile piece, the keynote stage, the magazine cover. And somewhere in all of that construction, the you that existed before all of this, the one who worked from the coffee shop, who felt everything with full clarity, that version of you has become harder to locate. You look for him sometimes. You're not always sure what you'd say. Level 5. The number is now 1 billion. 1 billion is not 10 times 100 million. It doesn't scale the way most people imagine. It is a different category of existence with different rules, different visibility, and different gravity. At this level, your decisions have consequence beyond your company. They affect industries, communities, governments. People you have never met will feel the downstream effects of choices you make in a room with 7 people and a whiteboard. The world treats you differently in ways that are difficult to articulate without sounding ungrateful. People don't push back on you the way they used to, not really. They hedge. They frame disagreement as a question. They laugh at things that aren't funny. The feedback loop that once kept your thinking honest has been quietly dismantled by everyone trying to be in your good favor. You have to work actively, deliberately, to hear the truth. And even then, you're not always sure you're getting it. At this level, privacy is a resource you manage like any other. Your movements are tracked, not by you but by others. Your statements are examined for meaning that wasn't there. A casual comment becomes a headline. A hire becomes a signal. A purchase becomes a story. You exist, in a real sense, as a public object. The person behind the object is something only you and a very small circle still have access to. But something else is happening too. Level 6. And something unexpected has arrived. Not everyone reaches this stage. Not because of the money is almost beside the point now, but because of what it takes to survive the levels before it with your clarity intact. The ones who make it here have done something quietly difficult. They've separated who they are from what they've built. That sounds simple. It is one of the hardest things a human being can do. There's a kind of focus that arrives at this level that is different from ambition. Ambition is about accumulation. This is something else. It's about selection. You've become ruthlessly deliberate about where you place your attention. Time is no longer abstract. It is the only currency you actually care about protecting. You say no to things that would have felt like opportunities 5 levels ago. That discipline is not coldness. It is, strangely, the warmest thing about you now. The legacy question has arrived. It arrives for everyone eventually, but at this level, it arrives early and it stays. What are you actually building? What will remain? Not the company. Companies are restructured and renamed and absorbed and forgotten. What will remain of the choices you made, the people you shaped, the problems you decided were worth your finite, irreplaceable attention? The surprising thing about this level, and almost nobody talks about this, is that some things have gotten simpler. Not easier, simpler. The noise that once filled every decision has quieted. You know what you want. You know what you don't. The confusion of the early levels, that constant hum of uncertainty, has been replaced by something steadier. You're not at peace exactly, but you're clear. What never changes? Here is the truth that sits underneath all of it. The one that is present at level 1 and level 6 and everywhere in between. The one that no amount of money alters or removes or softens. The work itself, the act of building, deciding, solving, creating, that never stops being the thing. Not the outcome of the work. The work. The people who lose themselves somewhere in the middle levels are usually the ones who forgot this. The other truth is this. The version of you that was worried at the start was not wrong. The worry wasn't a weakness, it was information. What changes is not that the worry goes away. What changes is that you get better at carrying it without letting it steer. That is not the same as fearlessness. It is something more useful than fearlessness. And the people. At every single level, the people. Not the network, not the connections, not the strategic relationships, the actual people. The ones who told you the truth when the truth was uncomfortable. The ones who knew you before the story started. You will gain many things on the way up. The things that are genuinely irreplaceable are mostly human and mostly unglamorous. The most successful people in the world know this. The ones who forgot it, you can see it in their eyes if you look. The billionaire level nobody talks about is not the one with the private jet, or the board seat, or the billion-dollar valuation. It's the moment, quiet, internal, unannounced, when you realize that the life you spent everything building was always, in the end, just a life. And that might be the most important thing you ever understand.